welcome to the Integrate This podcast. I'm Jeremy, and that's David, and we're joining you here today from a different view. As you can see, I've kind of got a more of a spacey background, a sky, and some cool land formation things. And David looks like he's just chilling in a nice minimalist style suite, maybe
Contemporary.
a temporary place that he's located. No, really, we're here in a different format today because we're exploring a new AI product that works with virtual meetings as a digital note taker and action planner for keeping track of everything that you talk about. And so we're going to use Microsoft Teams here for this particular edition and episode. And David is going to help explain to us a lot about the benefits of using a digital note taker such as Otter.ai, which you can see down there is that third guest that we have with us today as well. So David, why don't you give us a little bit of an idea of what Otter.ai is?
Yeah, so what we've come across lately is we have some AI note takers, and actually within our region, we've had some superintendents that have already implemented using Otter AI into the different meetings that they have, which is funny enough because we have our superintendent meeting is actually going on right now as well. And like I said, there's some that use Otter AI for it to take notes and then upload that into the Otter.ai web browser program. And you'll have like a login and things like that. And I'm going to share a lot of that today. I'm going to kind of go over some of the things that you can find in there. And then what you see going on right now is we wanted to just add in the AI note taker. So there's a way that you go about getting the note taker into whatever meeting you have, and it's pretty versatile. So you have, Microsoft Teams, you can connect it and integrate it with Google and Zoom, things like that. And a lot of it with the meetings tends to work off of an individual's calendar. So the reason that it was able to hop into Jeremy and I's meeting in this Microsoft Teams meeting is that it had access to my calendar and the meeting event that was taking place, which is called Integrate This, the Otter.ai. And that's how you see that third person, in our meeting, which is just my AI note taker. So I'm going to just shift over and I'm going to share. So for this part, what I want to do first is just show you what it looks like. And we'll shift from this over to my dashboard. But what you'll see is you can go to Otter.ai, and we'll have some things in the show notes for you on this with the links and everything. But to get started, right, you go to the website and click Start for Free. And then what we're going to be using for our tutorial is just the basic Otter. So there's, with a lot of our stuff, there's always like a breakdown of what's included in basic and what's included in their more premium or their business trial. As I mentioned, with all the integrations that they have, like the Teams integration and stuff like that, they're very much already set up for entire, like a whole school or a business to be able to utilize this. So depending on what your goal is, that might differ from person to person. So if it's just you as an individual, as I did with mine, I'm going to use the basic and I just click Get Started. And then what you can do is from here, you can create your account with Google or Microsoft credentials. I'm not going to go through this process because I've already got mine, but you'll just set this up through here. And then a lot of what we'll do in the next part here is to show you what it looks like once you're logged in. And so I'm going to shift from this over to that. Okay, so here is the Otter layout, and there's quite a bit going on. So I want to just take it one thing at a time and explain it to you. And what's kind of interesting is that right away, you kind of see these segments. So there's different portions of the screen that you're looking at. Now on the left side, this is our menu, and I'll go over some of these things. But I want to just draw your attention to this part right here because this is indicating that we actually have a live Otter AI recording going on right now. And that's the join meeting that Jeremy and I are in, the Microsoft Teams meeting that's being recorded, and the Otter AI is actually doing the live transcript script right here, so you can see that.
Okay,
Um,
that's really cool. And
yeah,
it's
and
really,
it's
really accurate. I've been kind of watching it as you were talking about the other parts here, and it's done really, really well. And I even noticed it cut out like the or the ums, that I can't get rid of.
that time
But
it did, but
except for right there, it added mine. But
yeah. So we're gonna look at, so what you're looking at is just kind of like a live snapshot of what's going on, right? So it kind of gives you like a screen. The transcript is live, so that keeps progressing as you talk. You can see the live indicator here. There's some timestamps. So when did the meeting start? How long has the meeting been going? Who's the organizer of the meeting? These type of things, right? And then what I like as well is it will alter what kind of meeting it is based on what platform you're using, right? So right now we're in a Microsoft Teams meeting, so you can see that it may look like a Zoom icon, or it will actually do other platforms as well. I'm just not entirely sure which ones it will accept. I know that with this particular tutorial, like I talked to Jeremy and we figured out you couldn't really do, I couldn't put our StreamYard link in there. And that's okay. Like we can take a break from StreamYard, even though it's great. Um, so so this is the dashboard, right? And this is the live meeting. But then if you scroll down, you'll see ones that were done previously. And these can vary. So sometimes they'll be where it's a meeting between, Jeremy and I, or like I said, the superintendent meeting that we have. There's 60 plus people in usually, and it doesn't really matter. It will still take the notes for whoever has set up Otter AI, and it will deliver it to your personal um, I don't know if you want to call it portfolio, or just to your account, and the different recordings that take place. And again, it bases it off of your calendar, and you can even choose what you want it to record and what you don't want it to record. And that's in the settings, which I'll go over as well. So you can take some time to uncheck certain meetings if you don't want Otter to collect anything during that meeting, and then some you can, like this one that we have going live, right? And now the other thing is that these ones that I did previously, um, these are actually a couple different things. So the one that you see right here, this is, I uploaded a video, which is utilizing the import button. You can, upload audio or video, and it has the same effect. It will kind of organize the information. It will read through the transcript, or the audio file, and the words that were said during that audio, and then it will compile that into a summary, which you see here. I'm going to go into these in a little bit further depth, but for right now, I just want to show kind of the different types that you can do. So we have our live, we have our video upload, and then these ones here that you see are actually just utilizing the record button. So what you can do is you can also just click record, and you can just get right into you're talking through something and you're recording it. So it could be more that maybe it's just something for you. Maybe it's not a meeting between two people like Jeremy and I right now. Maybe it's just that it's you and you're talking through some things, and you're wanting it to collect information so that you have some notes for later. And so that's some things that you can see right away on the dashboard.
so could it
Um,
be like a to-do list kind of thing? Like, hey, when I get to my prep period, make sure that you make these copies, grade these papers, call that parent, so that you can make more efficient use of your time, and it will remember those things for you.
Yeah, absolutely. So you could, that would be a way that you could utilize the record option to organize some thoughts. Like maybe you're brainstorming, or maybe you've got like some notes that you took and you have them on paper. It's actually really nice because then you could hit record and you could just read through some of those notes and it'll organize it for you. So, I think that's very much like, the same thing of using like the audio feature on your phone, or like like a voice memo essentially, but it writes out a transcript and then it will collect that information and it organizes it nicely. And what it'll do is put it into bullet points, or it kind of pieces together what makes sense, and it does a really nice job of that. And you can also edit that too. You're not like, if there's something that's incorrect, you can always modify it. um, on the right hand side, this is actually where you have your calendar. And so for mine, I have my work calendar connected to this. And so, you could go like look at your different days that you have. And what I want to point out is that underneath here, you can't see it too well. So I'm just going to hide the calendar for a moment. This is actually the different events. And so what you'll notice is that in your settings, you can see these, but you can also see them as individual events right here. And this is where you can toggle Otter on for specific meetings. So over here, you can see Autopilot will not join this meeting, right? So if I turn it on, then that's going to actually make it so that when I connect to this meeting, Otter takes notes for me based on what people say within the meeting. Um, and then that gets delivered to me. Now, one thing that's nice is, if, let's say that Jeremy doesn't have Otter, uh, after this, if since I'm collecting notes with Otter and it's going to deliver them to me later on, once it's complete, once this recording is complete, I can actually share the notes over to him once I have my transcript. And so we'll look at some of that as well once I go into some of the completed ones. I'm going to turn this off for now, but this is kind of where you can see what events are coming up because of that integration with your calendar, and then select what you want recorded versus what you don't. Now, by default, right now, it's just not collecting anything, and it's requiring me to go in and select. And I actually did that in my settings where I wanted to manually select. Now you can turn it on and just have it do it for all of them if you want to. But I kind of found that for me, that didn't really make sense. Like I just wanted to have, maybe certain ones that I would do.